All right.
Anyway,
We are at, I think it's called Spoonbill at the bottom of the Olsen Hotel. And this was like the most annoying, they're not happy that we're here. It was the first place that like, they wouldn't let us sit down there, film anything. And they've sent us up here into what I think is a little bit of a boardroom to just get rid of us. Did not feel welcome.
more private place.
Dude wasn't even happy when I like ordered the coffee. Like, okay.
Like, okay.
Not a review, but just the observation. Let's leave it at that. We're actually filming today's Tuesday. It's Tuesday now. Normally we film on the Wednesday and release straight away, but tomorrow I am away. It is my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Allegra. So I won't be doing this, but we'll still release it on Wednesday. So I'm like nervous. I'm nervous that we're gonna miss something in the 24 hours because crypto moves so quick.
Yeah, there are a lot of reports that will be coming on from today.
Yeah.
Today onwards, especially for the US. So I think, we might be missing few points, but I think we might predict or forecast a lot of things already.
That's interesting.
Based on the reports. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the reports that are coming?
I think it's more towards the PCE housing reports, and then comes the federal rate cut decision. So it's a bombarded week for the reports from the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening. The tariff deadline is also August 1st.
August 1st for a lot of countries, and for the China it's 12th of August. So they are all 12th of August. Yeah. So they are already in meeting in Stockholm. They're aggressively pushing for the trade deal.
I think it's a sort of like it's a deadline to see whether or not Trump actually does it as well, like to see if Trump follows through. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think like that's the major deadline. This is yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had to make sure it was alt because my latte's turned into a cappuccino, but that's fine.
Yeah, both look pretty
Cappuccino-ish.
similar. Yeah.
I have to get up and run out, and we know it wasn't alt. So I think it's a deadline to see if Trump actually follows through on the things that he's been saying. It's the first kind of line in the sand, or whether or not he wavers on it. So I think markets in general will be looking towards that.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of de-risking is sort of happening this week, especially like Bitcoin and crypto have been very bullish, following the bullish trend in general. But I think yeah, exactly. So that's where I think a lot of de-risking is already happening before those events, and I think the federal rate cut decision will be quite a move to catch on as well, because the forecast suggests that there will be no rate cut this month. 97% are betting on no rate cuts, and then there's like 0.5% probability of getting a rate cut of 25 bips, and then there comes like above 25 bips rate cut is like 0.1%, I think. So it's all adding up to no rate cut in a way.
Yeah.
But I think like Trump is pretty confident on getting the rate cuts because he was invited to Federal Reserve, so he met Jerome Powell, and I think there will be.
So he's confident that there will be a rate cut.
Potentially. That's
But
what
we're
the buzz
predicting
is
there
all
won't
about.
be?
Yeah, so the forecasters are predicting there won't be a rate cut. But I think the market is right now in a mix situation.
Okay, that's very interesting because once again, it feels like
It's a very
big testing week for Trump. Not that this is a political podcast, but
Yeah.
I guess politics bitter.
Yeah, and the US and Euro came on a trade deal as well. So that's generally bullish for the markets because that provides stability.
Yeah.
So there was a news, and the parties agreed on a trade deal on 27th of July. So just a couple of days back, and I think it's a win-win for US especially, because a lot of companies will be able to export to Europe at no tariff.
Okay.
While if you are importing into US, you need to pay 15% base. Yeah, so it's a big win for US, especially after the Trump made an announcement that Europe will be heavily investing into US, like 600 billion into investments pouring into energy sector, 700 billion pouring into the infrastructure sector as well. So a lot of positive news for US as an economy, especially after this whole volatile tariff talks have been like.
It'll be interesting. More
Pretty interesting.
More immediately, this coffee is horrible.
It's quite bitter, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely on the bitter side of
Bitter side of the coffee.
Yeah, so a lot going on in the world. Couple more conflicts, just to throw them in there. Cambodia, Thailand conflict we were discussing before I left the office, because Terrell, shout out to you, is in Thailand at the moment on holiday. And Trump's very bullish on Ukraine and Russia standing down.
Yeah.
Whether or not Putin stands down is another question altogether. But all of this impacts the markets and all of this impacts crypto, which still has been, we're not smashing all-time highs of Bitcoin, although we did have an all-time high close for Bitcoin last week.
Yeah, and an all-time high on the hash rate for
All-time
Bitcoin
high,
mining.
right?
So
So everything is still
fundamentally bullish. So that's where I think this is just a short-term noise. That's how I see the macro right now
I
because
sort of think it's the last
beer trap.
It's the last trap.
Yeah, I think this week is like that's where I think institutions have already started some sort of de-risking already because before the events, and I think markets get very heavy bullish once these reports came in, and if it aligns with the market expectations, we should see a very healthy close on July candle, and then the August candle
And
would be a
August
green.
is where the magic happens.
Yeah, so July it starts and carries on to the August. So yeah, that's what the general expectations for the market are for the time being.
I think Bitcoin's healthy.
Yeah.
I think we're not going to see massive price fluctuations up and down because we do have so much institutional adoption propping the price up now.
Yeah.
Interestingly, when you think it's sort of like, oh, it's almost over, all the big institutions are in crypto in general. I just read that China Bank is adopting stable coins. So it's like China's this other massive market and this other massive bull that can wake up and really start shifting adoption for crypto. That's a massive audience, right? So we haven't even touched on China, I don't think, in any of our previous episodes.
Yeah, so
there's still a lot more to come. Because I was having a chat with someone earlier. It's like, is it too late at 120-ish? Right?
Yeah,
it's not too late. Like
it's not too late.
We're still at the cusp of the bull market. We're still at the cusp of crypto adoption, and we're still at the cusp of what Bitcoin can do in the long term. I'm a little bit pulling back. I think it's like a Bitcoin 150. Like I would love to see 2x, but it'll be tough for Bitcoin. I think everyone's moving to ETH.
Yeah, and I saw a tweet wherein Grok was predicting, Grok 4 was predicting like 400K by November 2nd, I think, later down this year. So, like, we never know. There's a supply crunch that's happening across Ethereum and Bitcoin.
It's so unpredictable, yeah. But what we are seeing now is a lot of institutions moving into ETH.
ETH as well, yeah. So there have been positive flows in Ethereum, like 400, 500 million every day in a way.
Yeah.
Like scooping Ethereum, and the exchange's balance on Ethereum has significantly dropped as well. So I think that's what the next narrative looks like, and that's what we have been telling in the videos as well. Like it's a good time to rotate into altcoins and Ethereum.
I did my first Bitcoin sale today, even though it was below my my first initial plan was to sell at 125. I sold a little bit less now at 118.
Yep.
And the reason for that is when I look at the money that I sold, will driving the price of Bitcoin up to 125 or putting that into Ethereum, where's the bigger uptake of, where are the profits coming from?
Yep.
And Ethereum just has so much more room to run. It just makes more sense even if Bitcoin tomorrow goes up to 125. I think ETH at that point goes up to 4.
Probably 5,000, that's what I see. Because a lot of dominance.
About worst case, right?
Worst case is 4,000.
It's at 3,738 now, so I would have made more off of Ethereum. So it's just a smarter play for me now. One thing that I am as well doing is I'm now judging my altcoins against the price of ETH rather than against the price of the US dollar. US dollar is so volatile because of everything that's going on. And I think we're heading into a really volatile week as well.
Definitely.
I'm buying ETH alts because I think ETH runs first, and so therefore I'm comparing the price against Ethereum and seeing what's underperforming against Ethereum at the moment. Projects that I believe.
And I think it's very smart to like have a strategy to have a strategy against Ethereum, because I think that's where the index is right? For altcoins, Ethereum has always been the index, and if Ethereum runs, I think a lot of rotation comes on chain, wherein the companies want extra yield to be generated, right? They just don't be holding any more Ethereum. They want to be generating yield on top of Ethereum, whatever the stack they have. So I think that's where the general consensus shifts towards as well, wherein retail comes in, they say, okay, Bitcoin can't double up like you suggested, right? Then they come.
I'm not saying it can't. I'm saying it's if you look at the law of probability, I think it's more probable that we see a Ethereum 2x than it is we see a Bitcoin 2x.
Especially the market caps are large as well. So
if I get into Ethereum and Bitcoin does 2x,
then Ethereum probably
is going to 4x.
4x.
So at this point, I think in the climate that we're having now and seeing the institutional adoption, sort of seeing we know what that inflow did into Bitcoin December.
Definitely.
And now that we're seeing that, you can almost say now is sort of the December, January that Bitcoin is experiencing. ETH is having
The same sort of flow and structure.
Exactly. So we can see what happened to Bitcoin. There's nothing to suggest that it won't happen to Ethereum as well. And so I think for me, that is just the smarter play.
True.
I'm a Bitcoin
totally
maxi.
agree.
I love Bitcoin. And I know, people in the office won't sell their Bitcoin, but I'm into making money.
Yeah, and I think that's where the smarter move is right now, to be rotating into altcoins with Ethereum leading the market structure. And once I think Ethereum reaches certain threshold or a psychological level of 5,000, for example, then we might kick into the real alt season, how we call it. Because I think the Bitcoin dominance has been going down, and it's been this week, it's been chopping and slightly going up. Because a lot of institutions trust into Bitcoin.
61%.
60%, right?
Yeah.
Roughly, yeah. So that I think that's where this week is a crucial week to play smartly and to be betting into a lot of altcoins that you trust in, or that's the structure that
I think if
that
you're watching this and you haven't put anything into altcoins, I really think
This is the time, I think.
This is the week.
This is a good dip.
This is the week. This is the week to be picking alts
Yeah.
smartly. And we've talked about it. Real world assets.
dollar cost average at these levels is an amazing buy, I think.
Ondo, Plume, AI agents.
Yeah.
You're massively into AI agents.
Yeah.
I think there, especially the tools you've been showing me that help you trade.
Yeah. A lot of bots are coming, especially after like Nansen launched their own API endpoints to be able to effectively create your own AI agents. And so a lot of market is now shifting towards the automation to generate those sort of yields.
Not financial advice at all, trust me, but I got into AVO. I think AVO Finance or AVO.so, I think is the website.
Avocado bot.
Avocado, yeah. So they do bots, Solana-based bots.
Yeah.
I not only picked up some AVO token because it's a tiny market cap and I think it might have some legs. I don't think, it's early on the roadmap of development, but they also have the ability to essentially create
new
index
warrants.
funds. So I put some money into what they're calling the CoinGecko Trending Index Fund.
Yep.
Seems to be a bit buggy. I went on Discord. It's not working the way that I would expect it to work.
Yep.
I'm going to give it a couple of days before I'm massively in the red at the moment. That's probably why I'm just a bit bitter about it.
Yep.
But it doesn't seem to be quite working the way that it's meant to be working. I'll give them a couple of days to iron out the kinks, but it's definitely that type of project is really interesting to me as well.
Yeah, and I think this is the season where a lot of rug pulls might be prevalent in the market.
If any of my investments are going to be rug pulled out, this isn't.
So this is the time to be smart, to do your own research. That's
I'm sorry,
what we
AVO
recommend.
team, but it's just one of my riskier plays. If anything gets rugged, it'll be you guys. I hope I haven't predicted it, but.
Yeah. I think that's the season, right? That's more of a seasonality, and it's always good to be cautious with your investments where you are putting in. You do your own research. Now there are a lot of resources available.
This is the fun, though. This is the fun time. As long as you hedge your bets and go into some projects that are likely to 2x, 3x.
Yep.
And we've talked about this a couple of episodes back, and you structure your portfolio in such a way that the majority of that is in those tokens.
Yep.
And then gamble, because that's what it is, gamble your 20%.
Yep.
You at least break even, right? If you've been smart, it's just...
especially in the bull market, I think everyone becomes a genius in a way, right? You know the trend is up.
It's really easy to be an expert. All you KOLs, it's super easy to be an expert in the bull market. We'll see when the tree shakes out, we'll see who's still here through a bear market.
Yeah, that's where I think. And coming to the bear market, I think there will be a bear market for the majority of the alts, but not for the Bitcoin or Ethereum.
I think the alts will crash super hard. That is, so if you are picking up these alts, you need to work out.
Just have a short-term bet, I think.
Have a short-term bet and have a firm sell price in mind based on your research and the market cap that you think that can go to. Based on previous all-time highs, if it's been around long enough. Sell, take your profits.
At least,
and for me, I get back into
initials.
Bitcoin. Like that's for me what being a Bitcoin maxi is. I'll take the money that Bitcoin has made me, gamble it, and then put everything back into Bitcoin. The goal at the end is to have as much Bitcoin,
more Bitcoin
as you can.
Stack more Bitcoin. Yeah, that's where I think the altcoin rotations comes for a couple months. For example, the alt season heats up in a couple months, and then the smart people are just rotating back to Bitcoin.
On a lot of these.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like this industry has like more than 20 million tokens now.
It's nuts.
Last 4 years back, there used to be like 10,000, 20,000 tokens. Now it's like 10x. So they 10x every year, the number of tokens related in the market. So
But that's why I was saying, like, I think gaming is a good long-term play as well if you're going to hold something, because I think what's going to bleed the most come bear market is the AI tokens, because there's so many that are just vaporware.
Yeah.
The gaming tokens have had the benefit of going through one bull cycle already, and hopefully the ones that you pick have a product and have something that will generate revenue and can sustain revenue.
Yeah, definitely. And I think coming to the AI agent space or the AI sector in general, it's like Nvidia is just making all-time highs on an everyday basis in the stock market as well for US. And I think the whole sentiment right now around AI is just getting started. So we never know which AI agents or AI-based projects can literally 100x from here.
There's such a difference. I almost feel like we have to split the AI, because there's like the AI infrastructure plays AI hardware in a way, and then there's like the utility based on AI.
Yep.
So it's easy to go, okay, invest in AI, but there's a big difference between something that like, you know, Nvidia or Render are doing versus an AI agent.
Yeah, that's just built on top of that. Yeah, exactly. So I think there come like...
So not all AI is made equal.
Exactly. Not every AI project is made equal, because AI has its own sub-niche categories, I would say.
And that's why I think those will dump super hard.
Super hard, yeah. Because they are just built on top of something, and it's just like a marketing buzz, I would say.
It's a beta. It's a beta
it's a
to
beta
whatever.
too. Yeah. That's where the thing is. Like the products are working fine, but the tokenomics around those products are like way shady. That's where I think it's good to focus on the
team
fundamentals.
Sometimes too.
Oh yes. So that's where I think the whole focus should be around the tokenomics, and then coming to the way that AI is working for you. Like there are a lot of copy pasters available in the market right now, right?
Oh yeah.
Anyone can create their own AI agent that's already existing, but they are just
That's the beauty of GitHub and
fetching
open source projects. You can just download something
fetching
on
it
GitHub,
top of it.
rebrand it. I mean, it was the same thing with the first round of meme coins. Like everything was
Exactly.
just a fork of something.
Fork of something,
You know, it was, I remember the one that was massive was the SafeMoon fork, right?
Yeah.
Everyone had a SafeMoon fork,
Yep.
myself included.
Yeah. I think I did punt a bit of SafeMoon as well and made 5x, I think. And just so riding these meme coins is like very speculative, and the best play is like if you 2x, you just take your initials out and just let it run.
You know what reminds me of SafeMoon sometimes is SPX. I love SPX, a massive SPX.
Oh yeah, we do
actually.
love SPX.
But
It's making all-time highs.
Yeah. And so we turned on free trading for SPX when it hit the all-time high on day 1x, as we do with any token that hits an all-time high, we put free trading on. So we've had Pengu, we've had Useless, we've had SPX, which I think is a testament where the market is. It's memes at the moment, right?
Exactly.
The three that we've done are memes.
Yeah, and Useless did make an
And
all-time high as well.
Like you look at everything else going red, and the ones
Those are pretty
driven
strong.
by community
Yeah.
are not susceptible to the fluctuation as much because people don't sell.
Yeah, and there's the community that has been formed around these tokens, wherein a lot of tokens are making all-time highs, especially Useless, Pengu, like you mentioned, and then comes SPX. And the biggest play around these are above, like Useless is making all-time high. It's in price discovery right now. So it is being accumulated by smart money. There are alerts going on a day-to-day basis
Useless,
now.
yeah, Binance
Useless and
Alpha.
SPX. Yeah, Binance Alpha also listed it. So Useless is not useless anymore, I think, because they have been cross-chained with BNB ecosystem as well. So a lot of it is happening around the Binance ecosystem, and BNB.
That's what I want to talk
BNB
about.
also made an all-time high.
That's exactly it. I was very surprised when you said that the BNB's made an all-time high this early in the cycle.
Yeah.
I think that's super interesting. I think last time BNB was the chain. It was last cycle. BNB was the Solana, where everybody was launching meme coins. Everybody was launching assets because it was cheap, because it was easy to deploy something. Not real launch pads, but easy enough to deploy something, buy up, to create your own liquidity pool on Uniswap.
Yeah.
And so BNB had massive runs. And I was really surprised to see BNB, especially given that there's so many other exchanges now. I think it's a testament to what Binance is doing. I think it's a testament to how community supports ecosystems around exchanges.
Yep.
And I think it shows how it's a good idea that exchanges have their own
Tokens. Eventually. Yeah. And I think... So coming to the BNB point, I think now the new narrative around BNB token is like companies want it as a treasury asset.
Yeah.
So there have been advancements going on around like procuring BNB as a treasury asset. So a lot of Nasdaq listed companies are now looking to get into BNB as a token. So I think it's already into price discovery. I think it's a 4-digit token anyway. It's gonna be more than $1,000 in terms of USD.
The fact that it's all-time high now, when the
BTC is in
communal
prices.
conversation is not really around Binance, right? Like it was different. Everything used to launch on Binance, and then they used to list absolutely anything, and that was the hype. Now we're seeing things launching on DEXs, and we're seeing Solana and Pump Funds taking that sort of space, and Let's Bonk has taken that sort of space. It's really amazing to see BNB pumping so hard now that I think when we actually hit the retail
FOMO kicks in.
The retail FOMO kicks in, and people remember that they had a Binance account somewhere.
Yeah.
I think BNB is going absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, definitely. And coming to the pump fund or the bonk,
I think BNB can 4 or 5x.
I think it's too optimistic in a way, but yeah.
I think BNB can.
It's moving into the larger caps now. So it did overtake Solana like a couple days back as well in terms of market cap. So I think it's
I've completely slept on it. I
top
was
6,
not
top
aware.
7
I'm
tokens.
just sort of like I've put BNB completely out to my mind. Then I'm like, it's this Dino coin on a Dino exchange that isn't really doing anything. But that's not the case at all. Like I was very surprised.
Yeah, definitely. I think as long as CZ is involved
608 now, 680?
817.
Okay, so maybe that 4x. Maybe a 3.
Maybe a couple $1,000 ideally.
Yeah, 3x maybe.
Yeah, but it's been a good asset.
3x.
Yeah, a good stable asset that's been moving up the price. So yeah.
No, I think it's great to see. It shows sort of the maturity in the market and loyalty in community. So I think absolutely fantastic that project has grown. Even looking at launching things anytime, or investing in something and seeing BNB, like it's built on BNB, I'm like, Binance chain, but it is holding up really well. I think Base is a really good comparison actually, like for it. Like what Base is doing now is what Binance did. Binance walked so the Base ecosystem could run.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where the US market or the US SEC or the regulations come in. So they will be supporting Coinbase eventually, right? That's what we have seen.
Exactly.
And I think that's where Binance market share has been decreased a bit because Base has taken over, and then there comes Hype as a DEX, which is now listing spot pairs as well, which are not readily available. So Hyperliquid has started to list spot pairs as well as the futures. And the Hyperliquid's open interest is like making all-time highs. It's like roughly 14 billion, I think.
Yeah.
And the revenue generated for the Hype team is like a lot now. So 5-6 million a day.
Wow.
So coming into in a month, I think, and eventually analyzing it's more than $1 billion.
Okay.
Annually. So I think that's where a lot of infrastructure plays are getting competitive enough in terms of liquidity, in terms of yield generation, in terms of like capital efficiency. So a lot of things are going on this space, and I think it's just a short-term noise when it comes to the fact that we have the tariff deadline approaching, or we see
I think that's the one that's
the Federal Rate Reserve. I think
they just make a lot of noise. They make
it's
a lot
more
of news because it's Trump.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you love Trump, you make noise about it. You hate Trump, you make noise about it. And there's very little in between. So someone's making some sort of noise.
And one more thing, just to add on top of that, I think the money supply that China has right now, it's growing month on month. It's going crazy.
That was going to be my next question. If the US backs Coinbase, who is China backing?
I think there's CoinFlux. That's what one company that I've been seeing a lot. And they are the ones that are taking the initiative to have yuan-based stablecoin. Okay. So CFX is the ticker. And I think we might be able to soon list it on.
Interesting from an international person. You can now easily sort of bet on the Chinese ecosystem, the Chinese economy, but with these stablecoins. I think we quite often look at what the US-based stablecoins do, where anyone can now bet on the US economy. It's going to go the other way now, where we can.
Yeah, definitely. I think every country needs to have their own sort of stablecoin as just to be prevalent, because to have a US dollar stablecoin, there's a law now that you need to have a backing of US dollar, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of companies need to proactively jump into as well, because
the difficulty of believing anything out of
it's all going to be thin air. Yeah, it's all going to be thin air.
With China, it's going to be thin air.
Yeah. So if they don't, I think every company is now lacking on terms of regulations, especially after US created those acts, right?
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of innovation will keep on happening into different spaces, especially the stablecoin market will keep on expanding. And a lot of banks, like China can't be just sitting there saying US
No.
flourish or just go through and just become a superpower in stablecoins, right?
Yeah.
That's the eventual goal of Trump, I think, because he has got his own companies doing into stable. USD one is the stablecoin that World Liberty Finance has. So
Yeah,
a lot of
it's almost betting or banking on becoming the digital Fed Reserve.
exactly. So
Like if he pulls it off, it's going to be
and he has
digital
also
price.
listed his like Truth Social has already filed for the Bitcoin ETF, and they go on ETFs.
So I think
lot more categories into so.
the US regulation is so far along. I wish Australia would come a little bit further along, but there's still so much governmental, nationwide, institutional adoption to come for crypto. That's probably the point of this chat is that it's still early.
It's still early. That's what I like. I've always felt it's still early to be in crypto. Like I've been into this space for 9-10 years, and when I used to be back, I used to imagine, okay, this will come someday. And now the countries are fighting, the companies are fighting. There's a literal race going on to just procure as much Bitcoin they want to and as much as Ethereum supply.
It's going to be so interesting. I always think about 50 years from now how they teach about the time that we're in the textbooks, and I think this will be the digital asset.
The revolution. Yeah, that's
this will be the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning and maybe the end of traditional
finance.
finance.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Currencies. Like which is going to be the first country to go fully digital currency on the blockchain?
I think US for the time being, as long as like
Fully, it's a big ship to steer.
Yeah. It'll eventually come. That's where we are going on.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. Tips for this week were, I think, look at your altcoins against Ethereum because we're now cycling out of Bitcoin into Ethereum, and Ethereum's going to really drive the narrative and the price for these altcoins short term compared to Ethereum. See what's underperforming against Ethereum because Ethereum will pull those up, so they're good bets. And then when any of those pump against Ethereum,
then you just rotate into that. Simple.
Well, if they pumped, hopefully you're selling.
Yeah. So I think the general order states like Bitcoin to Ethereum and to the mid caps, and I think that's where BNB, Solana, Sui have been getting the flow.
I think we can start gambling on some low caps now. I think it's time to start looking at what are the better projects on-chain low caps. And
for example, just like you were discussing about Palm AI, right?
Palm AI is one that I'm looking at because it's built on ETH. It's very low cap and has some nice hype around it. Good narrative, pretty websites, AI actually doing things.
Combination of a lot of things.
Right? So I think that's a good one. AVO was one that I was looking at. Avocado bot. For me, that's because I think it's probably a good investment of the pump, but I have to see it actually work because I can use it. A lot of the AI tokens you can't really use, but this one, like, because I can use it, I want to make sure that it's working before I invest any heavier.
Definitely. Good to always do your own research into such projects because these come.
That's the best way.
One night they are appearing on like as a website, the other day it's a 404 error, right?
As the Day One X founder Phil always says, you have to taste the soup.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to.
Okay, thank you for joining. Hit subscribe. We purposefully kept it shorter this week, so we didn't waffle on for too much, and so you guys can get the most value out of it early on. We're going to try and cut up some of this content shorts as well. Yeah. I do apologize if you're watching this on Wednesday and we have missed some
the big events.
But I will be having lunch at Conservatory with my 4-year-old tomorrow.
Yeah.
So bon appetit to me. Happy trading to you, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
And it won't be
coming back for the
Olsen. Don't worry, Olsen. We won't be back.
Yeah.